Hi, my name is Moser. I'm a local diver here in the Pacific Northwest, underwater explorer and filmmaker. And Dive Xtras asked me in here to talk about their new scooter today. A few months ago, Dive Xtras contacted me and said they're working on a new project and asked if I'd be interested in testing it out. So of course I jumped at the opportunity. Didn't really realize kind of what I was getting involved with. The scooter, as you can see, is quite involved, quite advanced. Going from the Piranha that I've been diving for a number of years and the black tip line, it was really a big jump in style and technology, but I was extremely excited to be involved and give it a try. First impressions on it, of course, are just the stunning visuals, how it looks. It's, in my opinion, a very beautiful scooter. Diving with it is really a completely different animal from what I'm used to in any other scooter that I've dove with. The motor on this thing is quite a bit larger than any other scooter I've ever dove with. It gives you a tremendous amount of power. You can see the propeller blades. You've got 4 blades instead of the normal 3. It produces a lot more thrust at that peak operating power. So if you get into a situation where you need to push yourself through current, you need to get back to the boat that's sitting on an anchor in a heavy sea, you have a lot of power, which gives you options. Come up from a dive and you realize that you've drifted a mile or 2 away from the boat, and you're going against the current trying to get back. You might max out the speed on a Piranha or black tip or any other scooter out there and not make any headway getting back. And this is exactly actually what happened on a dive just about a week ago. I came up from the dive. I'd gotten blown off the deco line on my way up, and when I surfaced, the boat was quite a ways away, and they had divers on the deco line, so they couldn't pull it and come get me. So my options were I could drift out in the middle of the ocean and hope that by the time they could come get me, they could actually find me, or I could get myself back to the boat. And having this scooter gave me the option to get myself back to the boat. So you've got a much larger motor than any other scooter out there, and that at top speed produces a tremendous amount of thrust. I really like the design that Dive Xtras integrated into the tail shroud, where the struts act as these counter rotation blades, and they prevent the scooter from torquing. So when you're ramping up speed, on a lot of scooters, you increase the speed and you're fighting that scooter trying to twist itself out of your grip. With this one, it's so much more stable. You really have the flexibility of just maneuvering much more tightly, much more controlled. If I'm scootering along a shipwreck, a lot of times in the visibility that we have here in the Pacific Northwest, you might not see something sticking out of that shipwreck until you're just a couple of feet away from it. And so you have a split second to react and dodge it if you're going fast on a scooter, before you just plow right into it, which is never fun. So having that scooter be so much more stable on the torque of the blades gives you that maneuverability that's far exceeds any other scooter that I've dove with. The scooter has a vacuum check system in it that allows you, when you're prepping your gear before a dive, to verify the seals, to make sure that everything is going to be as it should when you jump in. If I'm hopping off the back of a boat in 300 feet of water with current ripping past, I want to make sure that my equipment is not only ready to go, but it's going to perform and it's going to function as it should as soon as I hit the water. So having that reassurance of the system of vacuum testing, of checking the seals, is a really awesome feature in a piece of equipment like this. Battery life on this scooter is really phenomenal. If I'm going for an extremely long dive, we have 4 12 amp hour batteries, and still a fairly compact scooter. It's a little bit longer than my Piranha P2, but considerably more range due to both the larger battery capacity and the efficiency on the motor and the controls. It's all about the options that it gives you when you're diving with a scooter. I love the screens. The interface on it gives you instant feedback on what the status of the scooter is, your battery life. A lot of times we're pushing the limits on distance and duration for some of these scooter dives. If you're going a long way, you need to get yourself back, and you need equipment that's going to get you back. So having that kind of feedback on the screen to know what your remaining battery life is, what the status of the scooter is, to have warnings of anything that might be happening that might be going to affect your ability to complete the dive, is a really awesome feature. One other feature that I really like about this scooter that Dive Xtras integrated into this new line is an external power activation and kill switch button. So having the ability on a scooter to deactivate it is obviously a good safety consideration. And this is also something that's really nice when you can prep the scooter ahead of time. A lot of times I will be getting my stuff set up at home. I can vacuum check the scooter, get it all set up, and then power it off. And it won't have that parasitic battery drain over the next few hours while I'm waiting to go diving. And then when I'm ready to jump, the scooter is completely ready to go. I just push the button, powers it on. Also, if I'm doing any longer underwater dives, if I want to power it off during the dive, I can do that. You can even, if you're using something like this in a maybe a staged cave diving situation where you need to prep gear ahead of time and have it sitting there for hours or even days ready to go, that's a really useful feature to have. This is the first scooter that I've dove with. It comes from the factory, set up and designed with the T-handle trigger and T-handle grip system. This is something I've been a fan of for quite a while. It gives you a lot more flexibility, the ability to switch hands while scootering, and the ability to change up your grip. A lot of times if I'm doing a really long scooter run, holding a single grip on a scooter for a long time tends to get rather tiring. So I really like the handle and the grip and the control design on this one with the T-handle. It gives you very comfortable and very good control, the ability to maneuver the scooter using either hand. If I'm working with something underwater, if I'm while scootering, I might be trying to re-rig stage bottles or change where something's clipped off on me. I can switch up hands, use my other hand to clip something or secure something. So it's a really flexible, truly ambidextrous scooter design. A lot of people that have been diving the black tip know about the advancements in motor controls and how it makes it so much quieter than what older scooters were. And for me as an underwater cinematographer, I really appreciate that. If I'm down there, I'm on a rebreather because it doesn't have any bubbles. It's very quiet, so it allows me to get very close to the animals. Now having a scooter like this to go along with that, that's also extremely quiet, I'm able to not startle the animals when I first come up to them. It takes it to that next level of being able to actually really swim and interact with them and be a part of their world like I've never had before. It's a much more rewarding experience. So I mean, overall, I'm extremely excited about this new scooter. It's really taken the technology to the next level, both with the design, reliability, and features that it has, but also the raw power. It's really hard to describe how that's changed my perspective of existing in the underwater world. Having that extra power available to really overcome the limitations of being a human trying to live underwater. So I'm really excited about where Dive Xtras is going with this new technology. I can't wait to see what they do next. But for now, this is easily, hands down, the most exciting piece of underwater technology that I've had the privilege of working with.